All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who is the God of the Hebrew Israelites, Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son. I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that did teach us his truth, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Hey, praying and fasted, man. First and foremost, when we do these epistles through the Spirit, we always are talking to ourselves first and foremost. All right, so praying and fasting is something I need to do more, even though the Lord blessed me with a certain spirit, to do it probably a little bit more than other brothers. The only where there is no real downside to it for me. I just stay a little slim than I probably want to be, but other than that, it's just all benefits, man. I really don't care at this point in relation to the kingdom about skinny jokes and things like that as much as I did when I was younger, because we know that the kingdom is nigh. But a lot of people, you'll hear comments from people because this is a big bad overindulgence world, especially here in Babylon the Great. They like everything thick. The men got to be thick, the women got to be thick. So uh, for me, man, I don't really. I fasted a lot through the spirit and power. Yahweh Hashem Shah. Some brothers got to fast more than others, man. You might have more spirits upon you. I'm gonna bring out these precepts, man, but just quick preface to the epistle today about praying and fasting, the benefits and the importance of it. All right, so we're getting ready to come into a time like no other, like this earth has never seen before, and we need to be prepared every way possible, man. Spiritually, physically, and mentally, man. Starting spiritually. All right, so praying and fasting very important. I did testimonies about praying and fasting, but if you're new to these epistles that I do through the spirit, just real quick, like, man, my first 7-day fast I went on maybe around 4 years ago. I was in an apartment, and you got to remember everything that you pray for through the spirit, it's all done and given to you by Yahweh, by Hashem and Hawashai, especially if it be the will of the Lord for you to have these things. Then there's going to be a spirit that's going to lead you and speak through you, and give you what to ask of Yahweh by Hashem and Hawashai. Remember that, and that we have to remember that when certain brothers get certain things, and you may be lacking in the area, and you see a brother, prospering in a certain area, you don't know what that brother's been through. Hell, this life, his past life, for the Lord to grant him his request, man. So you remember what the Lord taught us, not to be covetous, you know what I mean? Not to be jealous, all right, of what other people have, man, because you have no idea why the Lord, has done what he's done. Some brothers may be better off financially. Some brothers may have better living situations. Some brothers may have women, that's a big one. Some brothers, in a part of this brotherhood have, decent women, and a lot of them don't, man, but we're all just fighting to get out of here, man. But back to the praying and fasting, man. We'll get straight into this. All right. Why should we be praying and fasting? This is James 5:13. Is any among you afflicted? Absolutely. That would be all of us. Starting now, we just want to talk about the Hebrew Israelites, man. We're all afflicted, man. We're all sick. We're all subject to death. All right, because of the flesh, man. So we are in this category of being afflicted. We're oppressed, especially psychologically right now, and that psychological oppression is about to turn to physical again, man, via Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. So when the Lord does bless us, we have to remember to give him praise, man. A lot of people don't remember to do that first thing through the spirit that a lot of us do. Most days, some days we may slip up on it, but if the spirit's willing, First thing we do when we wake up morning is thank the Lord. However, a brother or sister does that, Thawadi Yahweh Shem Shah, call hello Yahweh Shem Shah. First thing, I do a lot of mornings before I even get out of bed, and I thank the Lord for giving me that spirit because we're thankful. So, we give praise and sing songs to Yahweh Shem Shah for allowing us another day to get it right, another day to fight, you know what I mean? Another day to wake up. All right. It's a blessing, man. All right, because everyone doesn't. Is any sick among you? That'll be all of us, man. All right, some more than others, but we as a nation are sick, man. All right. Let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. So just going into the importance of praying, all right, making these requests known to Yahweh Shem and Shai. All right, very, very important to pray. And of course, I'm getting into the whole fasting thing. Oh yeah, my testimony. Yeah, was it 4 years ago, roughly? I mean, I just had came into, I was living in Atlanta. I'm a personal trainer. I was in Atlanta trying to get some more certifications um, under my personal training belt, and things got absolutely wild and out of control. Now I'm getting ready to get locked up while I'm in Atlanta, and I have yet to come into the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai and that we're Israelites. But I a couple maybe like a couple weeks before I got put in jail from wilding out in Atlanta. All right, and the Lord delivering me with a strong hand out of Atlanta, that wicked ass place. We from my whole family, born and raised all over Georgia, man. So we definitely, are from down here, man. And Atlanta's just buck wild, man. And again, I wasn't in the truth then, but I think I was around maybe like, oh man, yeah, that was maybe around 2017 when I was living in Atlanta. Um, I was just wilding out, man. I was wilding out to say the least, and the Lord had to deliver me, man. He had to judge me and deliver me from Atlanta, or else I was gonna self destruct, man. And prior to the police, coming to my apartment, I had came across the brothers in Mississippi, man, and you know how it goes from there, man. If it's for you, you're gonna receive it. I heard, one of the brothers from Mississippi talking about, different aspects of the kingdom, that I have never heard before, and I was just receptive to it. And shortly after waking up by those brothers, doing their epistles, man, I got locked up maybe a couple weeks after that. So here I am waking up to the knowledge that I'm, an Israelite, Yahweh Shem Shai, and then I'm off to Fulton County, for a while. Then I got extradited to Florida. Yeah, it was a big mess that I was in, man. All right, but I got delivered out. The Lord got me through all of that. I went back to the city where my parents live at in Georgia, and I stayed with them for a while, and started the process, man. I went through through the spirit and power Yahweh Shema Shai. I felt it, I could receive it. I understood that these are our people. And that's all I was doing was reading the Bible, studying. Like when I got out of jail and I was living with my parents, no job, none of that stuff, man. But just studying, you know what I mean? And just trying to learn it. It was all, through the spirit. And eventually I got at my parents' house, man, and got my own apartment. But, I was still struggling with a lot, being that I'm just waking up. I am a vet, so I dealing with those issues, just a whole bunch of issues, man. I'm not trying to make this long because I've already done this, but just to, hey, bring it back up, man. It's a testimony. Praying and fasting. All right. The spirit had got on me when I was in my apartment um to go on a 7-day fast, man. And I'm a veteran, like I said. And if you guys are familiar with, disability, I'm sure you guys have heard that, I was just in need, man, of getting my full disability, man. I had a lot of issues, I still have a lot of issues from those wars, you know. That was a very young age, man, and you know that the Lord put me in. Hell, you know, a lot of brothers always talking about military this, military that. Well, you got to remember as a brother, man, who put us in the military, whether a brother be of the 1/3 or 2/3, it's all done by the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. So it's no need to talk down about people that has been in the military, because it really wasn't our choice, my boy. You know, it's like almost you kind of like people be hating, or you know, because the Lord is a man of war. And a lot of brothers just keep it real, man. A lot of, like, you know, a lot of brothers may be strong in a certain area, but make no mistake about it, every brother in this lifetime, you know, it will come. Everybody gonna get they smoke, you know, off. But every brother that's in this truth ain't been in a war yet, bro. You know what I mean? Just keep it real. That's something that the Lord, you know, gave certain brothers, man. It's no need to hate or talk down about a brother just because he was in Esau's military. You hear a lot of that, you know, oh, you in Esau's military. Again, who put us in Esau's military? All right. But that's a whole, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, I just did want to make that point because I do hear that a lot, man. We didn't really choose to do that, man. You know what I mean? To go in that man. Hell, we are really just trying to survive in Babylon the Great, have some type of career job, you know, when we signed up, man. Just like whatever else you did that wasn't the military. We all just trying to survive. Just like and you hear all this uh you know, the military, man, for me, all right, now, because I'm in this truth, of course, it's the hell with all this stuff, man. Don't get it twisted. We got our vision, you know, set on the kingdom. But man, for me, man, being in the military was the best decision that I ever made, man. You know what I mean? It was great experience. Now everybody experience in the military is different. Sometimes, you know, it could really be terrible for you, but sometimes you could make it really work. And it definitely, especially if you work in like the medical field or something like that, man, life be kind of sweet, man. You ain't gotta deal with a lot of that bullshit, man. So a lot of people just be saying shit they really don't have no idea what they talking about. Anyway, all right, that's just my vent. But back to the praying and fasting. The spirit was upon me when I was in my apartment, you know, to go on a 7-day fast, man. That's 7 days without food, just drinking water. I never had done it before. I have went on fast before, and I have gotten, you know, my prayers answered through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. 1 day here, maybe 3 day here, you know, and that's how I got out my parents' house, you know, praying and fasting. But this time I never went on no 7-day fast, man. So what I was praying for the Lord, it was two things specifically. You know, one of those things, well, it was three things that I was praying for. One of those things have yet to pass, come to pass. But these two things, man, I was praying, you know, very, very fervently, you know, without ceasing through the spirit. If I don't want to lie, if I do remember, I do believe for the most part during these days, I would pray, try to, every hour on the hour. You know what I mean? At the top of every hour, I would send up prayers to Yahweh Shema Shai during my fast. You know, wake up immediately, just praying and fasting and asking the Lord for these three specific things. One I'm not going to tell you, but the other two was for a house. All right, I wanted a house, and remember, this is all given to, you know, your prayers through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, and to get, you know, my full disability, because I was in dire need, man. You know, I was in dire need, and make no mistake about it, I tell you no lies there in these epistles, man. You know, through the spirit, the seventh day at 7 o'clock is, you know, 7 o'clock p.m. the seventh day that I was praying and fasting, you know, every hour on the hour for the most part. My father came to my apartment and he handed me my disability letter, you know, for you know, the percentage that I have, you know, for my disability. The very night that I finished my fast, praying for that. And of course, you know, I'm currently doing this epistle in my house that the, you know, that the Lord have provided for me, man. So that's a testimony to, you know, the miracles and the power of praying and fasting, man. And remember, man, sacrifice. You could have a small sacrifice. Remember Cain and Abel. All right. remember, like, okay, if you want something, truly want something, just like how we want this kingdom, so we're sacrificing our lives, making our bodies a living sacrifice. It's because we want something big. We want that everlasting salvation, those new bodies, perfection, that pardon from Yahweh Shem Shai, so that we can live in peace for all eternity, man. But yes, that seventh day, man, when I finished it and I closed it out, it was within the hour. Within the hour, my father was knocking on my door in my apartment and gave me my dog, and we cried, you know what I mean? Because I've been through so much, just like every brother has, every sister has, man. We all been through our own trials and tribulations, man. All right, but that was a long journey for me. It wasn't easy. And like I said, I did 3 deployments with a special forces group before I was 21, man. So yeah, I went in when I was 17, man. So it was just a lot that I've been dealing with, going to that war and trying to adjust to being a civilian, quote unquote. And it was just a lot, but better believe, man, the Lord blessed me with that, man. All right. And we got to remember, and we'll bring these precepts out, but there's many reasons, man, to fast. A huge one is the spirits that are upon you, man. This is a spiritual battle. We wrestle against not against what flesh and blood, but against principalities, man. The Lord taught us that. So we got to remember that, man. We have spirits, that the Lord will allow to jump on us, and some of those spirits can only come out of you if you pray and fast. So I had a ton of spirit, especially being in Atlanta, all that crap that's going on, all that party lifestyle that's going on in Atlanta. Oh, I had to get them spirits off of me, man. And for me, it took a 7-day fast, man. And it's beautiful because that 7-day fast ain't no joke for any brother or sister that ever went on one. It ain't no joke, especially doing a just water thing. And again, that was my first time, so it was a amazing experience. I thought I was going, I think around like day 3, yeah, man. I think I thought maybe, like I was probably like on the floor. Remember, this is my first time. I've gotten better through the spirit of power Yahweh Shem Shai and fasting and praying, but that was my first time, and it was rough, man. Them 7 days was rough, especially if you never done it before. I thought I maybe wasn't gonna make it, man. It was a point in time, man. I was just on the floor, just holding my stomach, and also, through the spirit, um I try my best to just stay in the spirit, and I don't fully remember, but I think I wasn't even like watching TV and things like that. I just sat, up in my little 1-bedroom apartment, and I was praying and fasting, man. To this day, that's the hardest I done went, and I got to, that means I got to go harder now, right? But yeah, that's the spirit was on me. The spirit was on me, man. And it was an amazing experience, man. Like, you be in the spirit, bro. Like, every brother that has fasted know what I'm talking about. You be in the spirit, man. It's like once you have tamed that flesh, it's like your spirit starts to manifest. You start to see things clearer. You have this certain clarity. It's almost basically like a high. It's almost like you high. Everybody that have gotten high before, what it feels like to be high. Well, it's like a spiritual high, man. It's almost like you floating, man. Especially if it's done through the spirit. A lot of people on this earth, man, fast, man, but it isn't a spiritual sanctioned by Yahweh Hashem and Yahweh Shai fast. A lot of people just fasting for weight loss and shit like that, or that idolatry spirituality they got going on, man. All that crap, especially Eve and her witchcraft and all that crap she get involved in. But it's a very powerful thing, man, and this is a testimony that if you can make greater sacrifices, then the Lord, is ready, and he's willing to, give you your heart's desires, man. But it has to be his will. Like, for me getting my own house and things like that, it's a pretty decent house for a young so-called black man by himself, four bedrooms, a sunroom, you know what I mean? And they're all mine, you know. I have no woman with me. I have a child. She don't live with me. So I mean, it's a blessing. And who knows exactly, why the Lord gave me that. I might have to house some people here pretty soon during Jacob's trouble. You never know. All right, but I mean, it was the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to give me what through the spirit I ask of him. Okay. And you remember that. And if you really, really want something, just like we really, really want this kingdom, we're going to do things to make our calling and election sure. You take that same energy into your own desires, man. Of course, we pray for the spiritual things first. Pray for the brotherhood, the sisters, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If you need some strength, in teaching, you pray for these things, through the spirit first and foremost. And then, you got your own heart's desires, man. And if it's the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're testifying again. If it's his will, he'll give it to you. He'll give it to you, man. All right. And if you haven't attained something, it may not be the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's why the spirit deals with us when we're praying. And we always say, Lord willing, or if it be the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, I pray for these things, man. All right. Let's see. All right. So many precepts on praying and fasting I have, man. They're not really in order, but I'm just gonna start bringing them out. Let's see. James. Well, we can do that. Why not? Let's go to Acts 12, and this is very important in relation to what we're gonna go through, because I definitely know it. During Jacob's trouble, even though the Lord, of course, he said his servant shall eat, but I know I'm gonna, through the Spirit, I've already meditated on this, man. And because I have a gift of faith, we all do. All right, but I just how my mind is, how my spirit is, man. I can go. When it comes to that praying and fasting, I pray for brothers, I pray for sisters. That's what I do the best. I can pray and fast better than I can teach. And then we all have these skill sets, just like starting with the apostles. I don't know, and no brother really knows about another brother's prayer life, but the apostles and elders, and they're very, very good at teaching. That is their could be their highest skill set, that the Lord have given them the ability to teach the nation, starting with the apostles and elders on down to every brother, man. But they're praying and fasting. That's something I'm good at, and it's something that the brotherhood, you don't really see that. You may, or where's the hope for Prince at, but you don't see that brother praying and fasting, for himself, and not only himself, but the brothers as well. That's something that you don't see. The people will never really see that. So you may think a brother done disappeared, but that brother, ain't no telling what that brother doing, through the spirit and power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But I've meditated on Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, and I do believe through the spirit that I'm going to go on a pretty lengthy fast at some point here in the near future concerning that. And I do feel just through the spirit meditating, it may not happen like that, but we always meditate on these things. I believe some miracles are going to happen during that time, man. Who knows, how long the Lord is going to sanction that fast, for those miracles to come and play. But, once it hits the fan, we'll all be in the spirit, to do that, so I can't wait, man. I've been meditating on that big fast that, that I'll go on, through the spirit and power Yahweh Shema Shai during Jacob's trouble. I'm just being built up for it. I'm being built up. I know that I can go a certain amount of days without dying. I know the Lord will preserve me. I know that it's possible. So, when Jacob's trouble hit and, you need some true faith and you got to get these spirits off of you, or you got, whoever, your family or whatever, got spirits on them. We got to be able to, go straight into this, man. All right. This is what this training time is for, rehearsing these righteous acts, man, so that when it's test time, we'll go straight into these, acts of prayer and worship, right? And faith. Will know these things because we have went through these scenarios time and time again, all right, before the great tribulation. All right, we're not going to freak out for a lack of food. First and foremost, we're going to have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to know that he, is going to provide, substance for us one way or another, whether it's from the heavens, whether it come out the ground, whether somebody brings it, or animal brings it, it just through a miracle just appears, on our table. We're going to eat. All right. We have to remember that, man. All right. So this is Acts 12 in verse 5. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison. And the reason why I brought this out, because persecution is coming for the ones that love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And these same things is going to happen to us. I've been locked up and had to pray without ceasing to get delivered out of there for something that I probably shouldn't have been locked up, for. But I mean, through the Spirit, it's all the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto Yahweh for him. So, Peter's locked up and, hey, people are praying, all right, for him without ceasing. And Herod would have brought him forth the same night. And when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands, man. All right, beautiful. So we have to remember that and have this type of faith, all right, of prayer. And of course, combined with prayer, the fasting. All right. And now, like I say, my precepts ain't in order, but I'll bring out that reason why we should pray and fast, not just praying, man. It's more powerful, if you fast with that prayer. But being that great tribulation is coming, that persecution is coming, we have to remember the example that the Lord gave us right here with Apostle Peter. All right, he's in prison, prayed without ceasing, and got out of there. All right, we're going to be in these same type of scenarios where we may be in a undesirable situation and we desire to get out of that situation. We're going to have to pray. We may not be able to do it audibly. All right, you should know how to pray in your mind. All right, brothers that have experienced sleep paralysis. All right, and how we've had to call upon the names, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai during those times of sleep paralysis. All right, I don't know what the enemy says it, but we know them to be spirits that have us down like that. And every brother can testify, calling upon the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, got those demons off of us and allowed us to, to get up off of our beds or wherever we were laid out that had us in that sleep paralysis, man. That's a demon, man. That's a spirit, should I say, that's on you, that's holding you down like that. And that's good doggone practice for what we're getting ready to go through, man. When I had sleep paralysis a few times in the truth, and maybe like twice, in the truth. I had them, before I was in the truth, sleep paralysis. But yeah, man, had to call upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in my mind. It wasn't an audible thing in my mind, because I couldn't move. Couldn't speak. So, but in my mind, what to say, my spirit is still able, your spirit's still able to call upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because ain't no telling what type of, test the Lord is going to have from us. We may be in a place where we can't, or be in a certain state where we can't audibly call upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But remember, that's why we rehearse these things. Now I know that I can pray in my mind through my spirit, and the Lord will hear me and he will deliver me. All right. So remember these things, man, when it gets janky, because it's going to get very janky, man. All right. And we want to be prepared as much as possible, to navigate through this. We not only want to just make it through this, but we want to be an example to everybody else walking upon this earth, 2/3. All right. And the rest of these nations of what our father and brother can do, you know. We want to show these people, and in order for the Lord to show his power, you got to have faith. And if you don't have this built up, now to think that your bills will get paid, or the think that you gonna, get your daily bread, how are you gonna make it during Jacob's trouble? How are you gonna make it during this time like the earth has never seen before? Well, I'll tell you, you're not. All right, so it'll behoove you to listen to the prophets of Yahweh by Hashem and Hawashai, especially when they're testifying. They're saying, hey, I've went through this. This is what happened. Every brother has went through different trials, and sisters, man. All right, every brother and sister have went through different trials and tribulations, man. That's why it's important to testify, man. And tell the good works of Yahweh Shema Hawashai in order to strengthen the body, because we need it. We need balance, man. We hear so much about, the fearful side of Yahweh Shema Hawashai. It's just as important to hear the blessings that the Lord has, bestowed upon certain brothers and sisters, because that gives us our balance. We move with that fear, which is the most important thing, but we also are very confident that the Lord will be there for us and he will provide for us not only what we need. Make no mistake about it, we can testify to this. The Lord will give you a little bit extra too. Don't get it twisted. We talk about daily bread, and through the Spirit, that is what we desire from the Lord, just our daily bread, enough to get through the day. But make no mistake about it, if you serving Yahweh Shema Hawashai, he'll give you a little bit more in any and every aspect that you desire, if it's his will. If you can handle more than one woman, the Lord may give you more than one woman, right? You can handle, and you doing right about your money, paying your tithes. All right, the Lord will let you have a little bit more money. All right, you in the cars, or whatever. The Lord will allow you to do these things. You like to travel. The Lord be allowing brothers to travel. Especially when it comes to doing the work. All right, so just remember all these things. Let me see here. I can find this. What was it? Let's see. Not like hypocrites. So many precepts I have. Morning, Daniel. I'm looking for a specific one though. Confidence, prayer, change, pray. Trust be known, pray. Here we go. Let's go to Matthew. Chapter 17 and start at 19. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. All right. For verily I say unto you, if you have the faith of as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible for you. All right. How about this kind? Go not out but by prayer and fasting. All right. And let me go to verse 16. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. All right. So let me see. After the disciples was trying. Shit. Come, man. Still like you. Yeah, the disciples trying to cast this devil out, and they couldn't do it. All right. And again, man, how could we believe that the Lord is going to do these miracles. We speak about these miracles, man. Brothers, have had dreams of flying. When these martial art troops or UN troops come in during these dreams and visions that they've had, man. All type of manners of quote unquote miracles, that brothers, have seen in visions and dreams, and that we, believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Hawashai, the Lord is going to do these miracles again. How could we truly believe if we don't have true faith? And the Lord is teaching us, through the spirit, that if we just have a faith of a grain of a mustard seed, and you should know how small a mustard seed is, it's very, very, very small, all right, then nothing shall be impossible. And we know that the Lord Yahweh war Yahweh Shai, not a man that he shall lie. So if he's saying that we through faith in the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, because it got to be his will, then we can talk to a mountain and tell it to move in what's the let's go with the Rocky Mountains, all right? That whole mountain system, all right, will move from its place, all right, through faith, man. All right, it's really the power of Yahweh Shema Hawashai, and it's our faith as a grain of a mustard seed that will have these miracles manifesting. So it's very important, because that's the time that we're coming into. So we're getting ready to come into more spiritual times, man. Right now we're in the spirit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Hawashai. The whole earth isn't, all right. The whole earth isn't in the spirit that we have the Wadi Yahweh Shema Hawashai, but it's gonna intensify, and the physical manifestation will also intensify. We talk about these what was it? These you know Leviathan, the demons, all these things are going to start to manifest more in this realm. We'll be able to see these things more and more as we get closer and closer to the second coming of Malak Yahweh, and definitely in relation to Jacob's trouble in the miracles, man, very important. There's miracles that's going to happen, even before Malak Yahweh returns, man, that, certain men are of Yahweh Shem Shah are going to be able to perform through the spirit. The miracles could be for offense or defense or provisions, all right? Both offense, defense, and provisions. These miracles will happen. There's people that are sick, that have ailments that the Lord is going to allow certain men to have power to heal. And, once certain people see the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to, strengthen their faith. We need to see these miracles. I believe through the spirit, if the Lord does have, every brother with his own household, we may not be together, is what I'm saying. Maybe we be locked up. Some brothers be locked up together, maybe brothers not. But definitely if brothers not, man, every brother's going to need spiritual intervention. So, through the spirit, and that's through faith, man. I pray that every brother and sincere sister experience miracles of Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashai. We're going to need it, man. We're going to need a miracle to eat. We're going to need miracles to escape the things that are coming. Robot dogs, drones, just all these cameras and technology that they have, the police, the government, troops, just weirdo, bugged out people, animals, all these things. We're going to need divine intervention, man, via those miracles, man. All right. And we have to remember the examples that the Lord gave us, via those miracles, how he fed the Israelites via the manna. All right, just food just raining down from the sky, the heavens. All right, smiting a rock, and it wasn't just a little leak. When they smit that rock, it was streams of clean water coming out of a freaking rock. Beautiful. Have to remember that. Yeah. Struck the rock in streams of crystal clear. Because I can't imagine the water being dirty. I couldn't imagine the Lord giving the Israelites dirty water. So it had to have been probably some of the best water they've ever tasted. I can't wait to taste some of that miracle water, Lord willing, compared to the shit we drinking out this sink, or the quote unquote so-called purified water in them plastic water bottles that they say killing us. We ain't never, in this lifetime tasting no good water, man. Even out there in the country in them wells, man, that stuff got shit all in it too, Yeah, But yeah, man, we have to remember the miracles of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why the Lord said, hey, these things was written for our understanding, all right, written for our learning, all right. So we remember the miracles of Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord did some amazing things, and that's not even scratching the surface. All right, talk about the, parting the Red Sea. They looked like walls, they went up as walls on each side, and the Israelites passed right through dry foot, you know. Clothes didn't stink, kept their clothes intact, man. We like to look fly always, man. Hey, that's important. The Lord gonna make an example, with this 1/3, man, with this remnant again. He's gonna do it again, man. He's gonna make an example. And what the scriptures say, then they shall know a prophet has been among them, man. They gonna know who the servants are when they see the protection that the Lord has for us. But remember, hey, it starts now. It starts this fight on the ground. You got to get these spirits off of you. We all have spirits, and don't think that the Lord will, won't test you and see if you're able to utilize the tools that you've learned to get them spirits off of you, man. And he's doing it for a reason, because we're gonna come across some crazy motherfuckers here in these last days, man. And you got to know how to deal with these situations, man. You got to have faith. You might be, I mean, everybody might have a sword on you, a sword drawn at you, and you don't have nothing, man. You got to go into that faith immediately. All right, it's gonna be an immediate thing, man. All right. It ain't gonna be a joke. It's always easier said than done. Everybody, it's the Wadi Halba Shema Hawashah for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The people who have a certain understanding that things are about to change, I can still hear a very naive spirit. Even with Eve, Eve starting to, you hear her going her rants about the government and what she sees and how effed up things are. Well, I mean, what y'all are saying, Eve, is nothing new. Matter of fact, the prophets of Yahweh Shem and Hawashai are saying this day in, day out for a long time here in Babylon the Great. Hey, you ain't saying nothing new. You really late to the party, my sister. But I said that again. There's a very naive spirit on people that kind of know that things are janky. They don't really understand how bad it's gonna get, because it's always easier said than done. Oh, get y'all shit together. Oh, prepare. Oh, it's finna go down. This ain't what you want. Like I said, a lot of people ain't never really seen war. All right, and know the horrors of it. Things are gonna get so uncomfortable. Look at how uncomfortable motherfuckers got when the damn cell towers got disrupted. It's an immediate change, man. Especially if your livelihood is based off of the internet, your social media influencer or crap like that, or you're just with it, or your job. You just have to be online, all day. If the internet goes out, or if there's the disruption in the internet, the uncomfortableness is immediate. All right, it is felt immediately. Just imagine when that immediate uncomfortability is prolonged, and there's days and days and days. It's gonna throw the world into chaos. People are not prepared for it. They talk a good game and they get on this internet talking all this stuff, but truth be told, they not prepared spiritually. It's just we're at a certain point upon in time on the earth where you can't deny these things, and if you're denying it, you're an idiot. All right, so a lot of people just can't deny, the inflation and seeing how janky things are, and the fact that they can just see that the government's lying, especially with that so-called migrant crisis. People are starting to see, what is really going on here. Why are these people coming over here, and why are they giving them so much? People are getting upset, and they're seeing, what? These people who are running this place, they're not right. They're wicked. All right. Still doesn't mean that they're going to be prepared spiritually for it, but we will through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Hawashai, via the obedience, via the fear, via the prayer and fasting. Don't forget, we got to do this stuff now. All right. Get some days, in your bag, man, where you've prayed and fasted and have felt what it's like to be hungry, all right, felt what it's like to be stronger spiritually, because that's what it does, man. It makes you stronger spiritually. You're like shining, all right. And trust me, if it's done through the spirit, I'm not gonna say completely that you're sin free, but you best believe you're gonna be doing a lot less sinful things, man, when you're praying and fasting in the spirit, man. So during that time that you're praying, making your body a living sacrifice, you're shining to Yahweh by Hashem Shai. Say the Lord was to look upon the earth and he just see nothing but filth, especially concerning the 2/3, man. And then you know, look over here and there's just this bright light shining from your spirit via your sacrifice, man. All right, because it takes faith, all right, as a mustard seed to fast, especially more than like 12 hours, man, because a lot of people probably think they're gonna die. It's people walking upon this earth, especially here in the USA, that have not went a day without stuffing their freaking mouth since they've been in their mama's stomachs, man. All right, have no idea what it's like to go 12 hours plus of not eating, man. All right, they're not prepared at all. These morbidly obese people here in Babylon the Great, how far you think they're gonna make it? They can't even move. It's something that my 600-pound, however, my 600-pound life, I don't know what the weight is for that show title, but I know it's up there, man. Them folks can't even move. They're in bed all day because they're so big, gluttonous, you know, just overindulgent. And that's the spirit here in Babylon the Great, overdoing it. Eve, you know, we give you an inch, you take a mile with your whoredoms and your leggings and your little freakum dresses and your booty shorts. Right? Just no chill at all. Just because you got the liberty to do it, you know damn well it ain't right for you to be coming out the house looking like that. But because, you know, ain't nobody really getting on your behind, they just do it and do it and do it and do it and do it. Just overdoing it. Just overdoing it with the wickedness, man. You know? Just like the whole drill rap stuff, man, with these young boys, man, especially around Chicago. And well, it really done spread out now, spread out through the whole earth. But how they just add wickedness on top of wicked. Can't just take revenge for your brother, right? Somebody didn't put your brother to sleep. Okay, you go put one of theirs to sleep. What y'all do on top of it? Make freaking songs about it and then mock the dead. Wickedness on top of wickedness. You see, just overdoing it. You already in enough shit. All right. The Lord already got you in an environment where you're suffering and have to deal with, you know, constant death. So you've already been judged. All right. And on top of that, you're boasting in it. You're tempting the Lord. All right. Death is right around you all day, every day. And you make songs about it, promoting it, dancing and smoking it, you know, smoking the dead. This is the spirit that is Babylon the Great, which is exactly why this place has to be destroyed through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Again, verse 21, Matthew 17. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. You have to pray and fast combined, all right? And that is the most powerful tool that we have, man. Combined with obedience, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We have to remember myself first, first and foremost. I have to pray and fast some more, especially for the brothers and sisters, you know, to be prepared for what we're getting ready to go through. And remember to pray for all those things, man. You know, you pray for the brotherhood. All right, you pray for spiritual things and you pray for things that you desire for yourself, because it ain't gonna do nothing but strengthen your faith. You know, you don't have to. I mean, some things. I mean, we like to testify everything the Lord do good, but I mean, some things you may want to keep private. Some things that you ask, you know, that's your private prayer, man. Everybody ain't gotta know what you pray. Matter of fact, let me bring that out. And look at me. I'm in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 5. All right. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are. All right. For they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. It's a secret thing when we pray and fast, man. All right. We don't let it be known that we're let me finish this. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. That's beautiful. Same thing. Hey, I'm testifying that I've ducked myself out for 7 days. The hell with everybody. The hell with the bitches. You know, the hell with these niggas. I'm finna lock myself in, and I ain't coming out until something changes, man. But you got to have the spirit upon you, man. This ain't that Christian shit. This is that real deal serving Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, real deal having faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And you better believe when I was on that 7-day fast, those are the names that I was calling upon. There's times before I came into the truth where I have fasted a day, 3 days, and I was calling upon false names, and guess what? Prayer still got answered. But now, eventually the Lord woke me up, all right, and gave me, that glorious gift of the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's the names I was calling during that 7-day fast, man. All right. In private. And the Lord rewarded me openly. A lot of my cousins not doing so hot in the ATL right now. They barely making it, trying to, stay in that polluted ass city and can't really afford it. I ain't in Atlanta no more. And my mortgage, for my house is less than a lot of those luxury 1-bedroom. Hell, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment in a pretty decent place in north of Atlanta. Or Georgia 400, if you know, close to Buckhead, if you know. And my rent, I mean, it was over $1,000, man. That's a lot for me for a 1-bedroom. I pay less for my mortgage for a 4-bedroom house with a sunroom. I pay less, now than I did when I was in Atlanta in that 1-bedroom apartment, man. You see what I'm saying? And it's because I prayed secretly to the Father, all right? To Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he rewarded me openly. Same thing. Other brothers can testify to the same thing. Verse 7. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, man. All that Muslim shit, especially if you see them when you locked up, they hit it. I don't know, but I think it might be like 3 times a day. They bring out that mat and they get it, saying these vain repetitions. That's what the Lord going into, because that stuff is really rooted in idolatry, man. False idols, false gods, man. We're not supposed to be like that, having, just saying the same thing over and over again, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. And this goes into all the false teachers and false, people, false pastors and shit like that have all this knowledge and can talk these big words and can talk and talk and talk. Like, I'm not gonna be specific because it ain't really I ain't gonna say it's not my place, but the elders and apostles get on those other camps so much, man. I just stay in my lane, but I do see, I am receptive to the spirits, that's on these different quote unquote camps. And, some of these other camps come in that spirit of the vain repetitions and their much speaking, and they think it's all good because they have this knowledge and they're so good and they know these quote unquote big words. And, simple people listen to them more than they want to listen to us. They got the crazy color garments and they see us. We ain't got no edge ups. We look like men of the field almost. We look a little rough around the edges, man. Our speech may be a little harsher, and people not really, as receptive, to the true men of Yahweh Shem Shai as they are to the ones that come with those vain repetitions, man, those smooth words, man, and that much speaking. So, hey, we got to remember, again, do these things in secret when you praying and fasting. Don't let it be known to everybody, man. Every brother and sister don't need to know that you praying and fasting. In fact, you act like it's just a regular day, and the Lord is telling you these are read. This is word from Yahweh Shai himself, man. He's teaching us these things that if you do it the right way, the Lord will, he's going to reward you openly, Hell, again, it got to be the will now. But like I say, for all of us that need some type of help, we all could. Like, especially, it could be anything. It always seems to go to the sex stuff. But like every brother, man, could use a woman to cook for him every now and then, man. Hey, these are things that we should ask of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in secret and see, will he reward us openly? You know what I mean? we're all hastening in the day I get our women back, bro. Make no mistake about it. And if that's something you desire, right, again, the whole brotherhood don't need to know that. You pray to Yahweh Shem and Yahweh Shai. It be the will of Yahweh Shem and Yahweh Shai to bless you with a help me, and just see how that works out for you, especially when you're praying and fasting. And you got to pray and fast, because like I said, we're not perfect, and you don't know what type of spirits is on you for real. Now, hey, as we grow through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you should be circumspect of yourself. You should see when you're going off. You should see when you're getting weak through the spirit. All right, you're not going as hard as you once were. Well, you got to reset, and that's one thing fasting definitely does. It gives you a spiritual reset, man. And you be on that spiritual high, man, for a time after your fast, man. You break that fast, you still be in the spirit. You more less susceptible to sin. Trust me, I'm testifying that, man. I ain't saying that we perfect and I'm sinless during the fast or after, but you're definitely stronger in the spirit. It's just certain stuff. I mean, there was times, especially in the early days before I came in the truth, and I was doing, the praying and fasting. I mean, like the smoking demon. We all used to smoke the weed and stuff. You know, you fast and you come out that fast, and that weed and them blunts and them cigarettes just look absolutely disgusting to you. Especially right after that fast, and you don't be wanting to do that, man. That's a spirit. That's a spirit, revealing those things. Oh man, do we need to talk about the women? Same thing. You may be desiring, certain type of women, but you pray and fast, and then you had like this vision where you could just see the filthiness of some of these women, and it almost make you sick. Like you don't even like, man, I don't even want no physical interaction with you. It's disgusting. And you think about all the men they've been with, and the bodily fluids being exchanged from a man. And that's why we're not supposed to be sharing women, because sex is a dirty act. Thus saith Yahweh Shem and Yahweh Shai. Even though it produces life, you're unclean. Having sex is an unclean act. That's why the Lord, that's why we don't have sex on the Shabbat, because it's an unclean act. Think about it, especially concerning the woman. You got your, especially, not using, so-called protection. That's, there's I don't want to get into it. Just know it's nasty, and just know, when you fast, you'll be able to see how nasty certain things are. Even food. Yes, food. You've been eating like junk food or just shitty ass food. You go on that fast, and after, and you're ready to eat again. A lot of times you don't be wanting no trash, no ice cream and stuff like that. For me, I know I be craving like a big bowl of fresh fruit, refreshing, especially if it be like the summer, springtime. Oh man, a huge bowl of just cold crisp grapes, and oh man, I'd be salivating thinking about fruit. But it's just the spirit, bro. You don't really want to eat a bowl of processed cereal and these processed food when you come off of that fast. That's a good thing. That's how the spirit works, man. It'll make you receptive to good things and make you less susceptible to the wickedness of the earth. All these things, man. Certain people, you'll see certain you'll have your discernment will grow during that time that you're fasting, man. And after the fast, you'll be able to see spirits on people, if they're full of shit or not, if they're lying to you or not, if they're sincere, or not. You'll be able to see these things, man. And I'm just going into through the spirit, the benefits, man, and the blessings of praying and fasting, man. All right. Shoot, man. I've been ranting so much. This video's getting kind of long, but I guess I'll leave it right there through the spirit. I had so many precepts on it. I have so many, but I do feel like the point is made, via that testimony of just praying and fasting and the importance of it, man. All right. Because we're getting ready to come into some horrific times, and we got to be prepared. We don't want to go into Jacob's trouble weak and not knowing what's going on. All right. Praying and fasting, getting them spirits off of you. And just because one season you may not be dealing with a spirit, guess what? The Lord will throw one back on you, and make sure that you're still able to do what you need to do to get them spirits off of you. How? Being obedient. doing things to make your calling and election sure. Praying and fasting is how you get those spirits off of you. And you got to be strong enough to realize when you're being attacked. All right. Or else you're just a dummy out here. You're a dud, and you're gonna get ate up out here during this great tribulation, talking that talk. It's all, it's all. And I'm for one. I really don't like talk too much, man. I'm not a huge talker, man. I talk, people I know, you know what I mean? But my friends and family would pretty much say I'm a pretty quiet guy. I open up to certain people at certain times, you know how it is, man. But overall, I'm a pretty quiet guy. But now with that, man, I just want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear again to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Hey, remember, man, praying and fasting, man. Pray and fast. Very, very important. Very, very powerful. Spiritually, first and foremost, to get, built up through the spirit. Prophecy, you don't understand prophecy. You can pray and fast, and the Lord will bless you with that. We can all testify to this, man. We've said this time and time again. When you pray for the spiritual things, it definitely seems like the Lord is more, ready to give a brother, spiritual, blessings more than the carnal things like a woman, all right, and things like that. But like if you're doing what you need to do through the spirit, you don't come with a wavering spirit to Yahweh Shema Shai. That's very important, man. You got to believe in what you're asking for. Even if it is a woman, I am going there, man. If you really want a woman and you feel like it'll be good for you, and you won't go off, and you address all these things, man. Feel like you're built up, through the spirit. You've gotten to a certain point spiritually where you should be able to handle that weaker vessel. Let your request be known to Yahweh Shem Shai. However you do it, Lord, I feel as if, you've built me up, to a certain point. I'm strong enough to, handle this servant, this helpmeet, all right, this weaker vessel. All right. And just see how that works out for you, especially if you combine that prayer with the fasting. All right. So with that, I want to say again, all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.